Welcome to Music in the Making. We are 3 high school and junior high music teachers from West Central Illinois. Each week we will talk about our experiences in the classroom, community, and personal lives too. We're no experts by any means, but any help we can provide to our audience of music friends is why we pursue this new venture. Please welcome your hosts, Lisa Hallen, Art Martinez, and Kevin Ferry.
Why do you hate me?
What? You?
She does. She hates me.
I do not.
Hey, we have a cord here.
We do, yeah. This is the microphone. Don't touch
That's
it.
where you're going to unplug when it's my turn to talk.
Systematically.
It's a conspiracy.
Could be.
All right.
Welcome back to another episode of Music in the Making. Boy, it's been a week. Lots going on.
Long but fast.
Long but fast, definitely. Yeah. And, I mean, just like, our football team's in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Ferry's been just so excited to go out in 20-degree weather to go to practice and still keep practicing.
Tuesday was awful.
It was winter, basically.
It was brutal.
It was horrible. I think it peaked at 39.
Which
Maybe.
was Halloween.
Which was also Halloween. Yeah, that was also
I didn't even think about that. I got home and AJ was like, "Did you get to see pictures of Ziamara, my granddaughter?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's Halloween. No,
right,
I'm not going.
Exactly.
I'm not going to trick or treat. I'm freezing, and they can go have fun trick or treating."
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Kat and I just went home and turned off all the lights and watched TV upstairs. So, and I'll tell you what, in our part of the neighborhood, we just don't have any kids, though. It's all adults.
When we moved from Avon to here, we bought, triple the amount of candy we usually got. Mm-hmm. I kid you not, we had 3 trick-or-treaters, and we didn't realize that in Monmouth you go to 2nd Avenue and you go to Fairway Drive. 2nd Avenue, all those, not all, but most of those people decorate. I mean, there's insane, Griswold Halloween decorations and
Holiday Road, but
people have their front yards all lit up with all the monsters and the skeletons and the witches and the mechanical things and caskets that open and close and
I mean
and then Fairway Drive is there's one family out there in particular, the Schistlers. They do a theme every year where their group of friends, they'll dress up. I think this year it was Barbie. So I don't know if all of the husbands dressed up as Ken or what the deal was there, but they've done Toy Story, they've done Wizard of Oz. So that's always a cool place for the kids to go.
nice.
I had 11 trick-or-treaters where I was, but I left early, so I only saw 4. But one of them was a band student, so
Nice.
a 6th grader.
That's
I was
fun.
happy.
That's good.
And then she was like, "That's my band teacher," to her little brother, and I was just like, heart swell.
I was talking to a friend of ours, Doug Dennison. Shout out.
Shout
Who's
out.
at West Central. He's now the head varsity basketball coach for West Central. And he said, no kidding, I had a high school student, a member of his basketball team, text him and say, "So, and spelled out, we're having open gym on Halloween." You're in high school. You're in high school. You're done. You're done.
You're done.
Yeah, you're done. So.
That's funny.
Yeah, I mean, we had Three Rivers, which was, if you haven't listened to that episode yet, that's one of my favorite episodes. I absolutely loved it. And it had nothing to do with the fact that the microphone broke and Lisa didn't get to talk, and Mr. Martinez edited it really, really well. It was really, really funny. But it was good to hear what Curtis and Alex and Katie and Caitlin had to say about what they do and how they do it. And I think everybody has their own little twist on it. But yeah, I thought it was a really good day. I thought the band and choirs both sounded really good. I thought they sounded way better than they did last year. But last year was just a mess there, and hopefully that continues. But that was one of my favorite episodes we've done. I was hesitant when you had suggested guests coming in and talking, but I absolutely love those episodes. Those are a lot of fun.
Well, and I think it's just depending on obviously the topic or where we are, what we're doing, it's just good to have perspective because it's Part of the reason we did this podcast was to share our own,
Right.
Points of view of things. And again, not to say that we are the be all end all for anything.
Not even close.
Not even close, right? So to have people say similar things or other things that like for their own particular situation, it's good to know that like as someone who may be listening who might be in one situation, like there are schools that are similar to yours, there are schools that are maybe very different, and it's up to you to make the decision of how to make your program however you want to make it. And so just taking the advice from anyone we bring on or ourselves or whoever is why we do this. So
we had Three Rivers Athletic Conference on Monday. We had Halloween on Tuesday. But I want to share something with our silent partner.
Yes.
I have heard several times today.
Oh, yeah, I did too this morning, actually.
Several times from people that don't need to say jack squat to me about anything because I have zero to do with what happens with Central Band, our 5th and 6th grade band. But I have had several people tell me that they either know or they have heard how awesome your concert was last night.
Mm-hmm. It was rocking. It was so good.
The fact that our 6th graders, like one in particular is like, I've never heard our 6th grade band sound so good.
And
they've been here a long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And may have had kids go through 6th grade band.
Yeah, and that is all due to scheduling. I get them twice a week again this year. And like we played legit band pieces. Like normally at this concert we do some unison lines in the book and some duets in the book. And like duets that are just harmonic duets, like rhythmically exactly the same, but yay, we're playing different notes. You're playing different than the person next to you. But no, these were all parts where there's at least 2 completely different parts going on. And one of them at one point it's 3 different things going on. And again, like the piece is called, one of them was called Scary Had a Little Lamb, and I think I talked about that on here. I was looking at music online, I saw that, and I was like, oh my gosh, we always have a concert the week of Halloween. That would be so good for 6th graders. I looked at it, I was like, ooh, that might be a little hard. I was like, we have it 2 times a year this year, let's give it a try. And it's so good, and it's just it's a good group, and again, that's scheduling.
You can take a 6th grade band to contest, right?
Miss Ferry, I've been like every time we have a really good rehearsal, I'm like, oh my gosh, I kind of want to take them to contest. Like I've been thinking about it because I know you've talked to me about that, but
done. It's done.
It's done.
It's done.
See you at
We voted.
Rock Ridge.
We voted. Rock Ridge.
Rock Ridge.
6th grade band, best of the day. Boom, boom, boom.
Scary Had a Little Lamb, best piece ever.
Yeah.
At one point they go, bah!
Well, they wouldn't go nay.
Like ghosts.
Hey.
Ghost lambs. Yeah, no,
That's a horse's favorite
very,
food.
very proud of them, very happy with how
That's
it went
awesome,
last night.
And we hot cross buns.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, 5th grader sounded good too. I wasn't.
Did we Ode to Joy yet? Are we to Ode to Joy yet?
No.
Oh, Ode to Joy too
That's
hard.
page 11. We're still on page 4.
Oh, yikes.
Ode to Joy's tough.
It
Yeah.
is.
I mean, because don't you?
I mean, it was tough to
Is
write.
that where you? Yeah. Well, I mean,
No, you
is
couldn't
it
hear.
in 5th grade band? Is that where you introduce syncopation?
No, the book we use, it doesn't do it syncopated, which is honestly makes my life more difficult because half of the kids know how it should sound and half of them don't and are playing it how it's written. Yeah, no, it's just written quarter, half. So then I have half them playing it like the right way that's actually wrong and some playing the wrong way that's actually right.
You know what you can do there? Just have them put a dot.
Yeah, no. What I do is I call the syncopation the fancy version. And sometimes I'm like, yes, we can do the fancy version. And sometimes I'm like, no, read the notes on the page. Because that will be a thing we deal with in high school marching band, too, when we're playing these pop arrangements. And we need them to read what's on the page, not what's in their head.
But do you?
It's
It
good
depends.
to draw.
Right, because no
yeah.
marching band judge has a score, right?
Right.
No, they
Yeah.
don't.
So
But-
it's kind of like when you guys talked about doing what'd you do? Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, whatever.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
did. Like They did the triplet when
Yeah.
it was written, eighths or whatever
Yep.
it was written.
Da, 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 instead of da, da, da.
Yeah, it was funny. I had that same situation happen when I was student taught. They were doing Star Wars, and the kids kept playing like da. They wanted da 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 da, but it was written as da 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 da. And the teacher's like, as long as they're able to play it the correct way, I don't care how they play it after that, because it's like, as long as they know how to read both and know that they're two different things. So trying their
Well,
best
that's
to it.
awesome, because I know, like, you have been fighting and fighting and fighting to get that central band program
Yes.
to where you want it to be, and
Yes.
we at Monmouth Roseville are constantly working on better ways to serve our students and make their lives better, make their musical experiences better. I mean, we're not done improving. We're not done at least
No.
trying to improve. And
No.
and can we get those central kids more? What can we do at the junior high to make them better? What can we do at the high school to make them better? It's nonstop, and we're not ones that we've never been ones that are okay with the status quo. And I think it's all about the advocation, and then also, you can advocate all you want, but have the data, and why is this important, and why is this good for kids, and why is this the best thing for kids? And I understand for sure, and we'll never win the argument of core classes are the most important, but we talk about it all the time in extracurricular life, whether it's basketball or football or track or music or scholastic or whatever. Like, they're not going to talk about the math test that they took as a sophomore.
Right.
They're going to talk about, for multiple years, our marching band kids or band kids, their favorite memory was playing in the rain
Yep.
at Western Illinois University because they were awesome that day. And like, they didn't bat an eye, and they were soaking wet and laying on the ground. I know it's a turf field, but wet is wet.
And multiple students who are in that band are upperclassmen music majors right now. And
Yeah.
like, obviously that's not what we're doing. We're not trying to
Yeah.
produce that, but there are those kids who are wanting to go into that, and
Yeah.
this class was the most important for their future career.
Yeah, and like Santiago, Miranda,
Shout out. And Heidi Gallagher.
and Heidi Gallagher.
Shout out.
Like, they were a part of that band, and they're still working on becoming music educators, and
Yep.
and I know that's one of their favorite memories. But I'm going to bet Santiago couldn't tell you one thing he learned he probably could. He's a smart kid, but he couldn't tell you about a test that he took in U.S. History 1. Because this is what we do and why we do it. It's when we interviewed Art, the one thing that he talked about was experiences. What experiences can we give kids? And I think we try our darndest to. Do you like that? Darndest.
I did. Thank you, Mr. Perry.
We try our darndest to give them as many opportunities as we can to do really cool stuff. So, we've kind of turned the page here. TRAC's over. Three Rivers Athletic Conference is over. Marching band is over. The fall concert's over. So it's turning the page towards, for us, Madrigal season and our Christmas concerts. And at Monmouth Roseville, we still call them Christmas concerts. And I like the fact that we can do that. I will tell you that it drives me absolutely insane. We do a lot of traditional Christmas titles, but they could be various arrangements that aren't, like, we're doing basically, I can't remember who arranged it, but it's basically the pentatonics version of O Come All Ye Faithful. And so it's O Come All Ye Faithful, but it surprises me how many kids don't know Christmas songs. They just don't know. Have any of you sang this before? Our soloist for that, Jaw. I don't know this song. I'm like, oh, come all ye faith. How do you not know that?
But as soon as you play the first couple seconds of All I Want for Christmas Is You, it's like, oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know that one. Well, why wouldn't you? According to Jeremy Adolphson.
Shout out.
Wow.
Oh,
wow.
drinking the hand
wow.
caught.
Wow. According to Jeremy Adolphson,
Shout out.
All I Want for Christmas Is You is the greatest song ever written.
I mean, the fact that she can collect money on that till the day she dies is
Yeah.
amazing.
That's-
I mean,
that's-
that we're doing that for Symphonic.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know. The kids are absolutely stoked.
Emma every single day. So we're starting with All I Want for Christmas, right? I'm like, no, Christmas Carol is the hardest one we have. We need to hit that first. But then we're gonna do okay, but it's a good version though. Like,
Okay.
it's good. It is gonna be awesome.
Whatever.
As opposed to the Mariah Carey version.
It's terrible.
Yeah,
That song's
Mariah Carey
trash.
version, Michael Brown arrangement on top, definitely.
I have beef with Michael Brown.
Uh-oh.
Because in his
Unshout out.
band arrangement of Princess Leia's theme, he gives the horn solo to the trumpets.
What's the difference?
And I was so annoyed with this, and
How did John Williams let that happen?
Thank you.
He's like, wait, why am I not getting money from this? Oh, this arrangement.
So, what is it? The International Federation of Horn Society people are probably protesting. What's his name?
Michael Brown.
Michael Brown.
It's a Facebook group.
I was so annoyed about this after a Muni Band gig once, and I'm not even someone who's like, I need all the solos, but that is a core horn solo, and it's beautiful. And I'm googling Michael Brown. Guess what instrument he plays?
Trumpet.
MIDI.
Yeah, I mean, that's
I'm beefing.
most
We
good,
can't play that
It
anymore.
could be worse. It could
most
have been
good
given to the.
musicians do play trumpet, but
It could be worse. It could have been given to the English horn, which would have been worse. But he's like, I can't do that to them. No one has an English horn. Trumpet it is.
So speaking of French horn, where I was sitting at TRAC at the Three Rivers Athletic Conference Festival,
These are students.
I won't lie.
that are supposed to be all conference band members.
It's not an easy instrument. I'll give them that. But I understand. But I also understand when people say we need this instrument. Might have to consider who you're sending / put them on the inside maybe.
Well, how about next year you propose we rehearse longer, we put in sectionals, because every time I'm standing there, I'm looking behind them, and half of them are doing.
Why would
the
I
hand
propose
on
that for the
bell.
band? I'm the choir guy. I think that's a great idea that you propose that.
Okay.
You get on your TRAC email chain
Yes.
and say,
Yes.
hey,
I would-
rather than us being there at 12:30, let's get there at 11:30 and let's schedule some sectionals and let's see how Alex and Katie
Shout out.
Shout out.
feel about we're going to move all of these sections to different places.
Yeah, I'm sure they
I
would
think
love
it's a
that.
great idea.
But we can. There's enough band directors there.
I was saying
Yeah.
you could
People-
assign us to
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
For when we do junior high conference, we
Yeah.
break them into sopranos and altos. Sopranos go in one room, altos go in another room, and then baritone / bass tenor we go into one room. And
It's not a bad idea. I mean, especially and this kind of goes back to the conversation when we were in that meeting of a lot of us don't have time for this, to prepare these kids for this conference because we're coming out of most of us are coming out of marching band, trying to transition to concert band.
so our junior high principal, he and I were talking today, and he's like, "Hey, I want to talk to you about the Prairie Land Conference. The junior high festival is coming up." And I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "Do you really need to rehearse all day?" And I'm like, "Well, we don't." He's like, "Well, 1:00." I'm like, "Yeah, that's not all day.
What?
That's half the day."
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And he's like, "But what?" I'm like, "Look, we just stay in the gym. We stay in the gym until school's out, and then they each get a homeroom, yada, yada, yada."
Right.
He's like, I know the band directors are talking about, should we reformat this? Should we do this? Should we do this? He goes, "What suggestions do you have?" And I didn't give him the answer he wanted. I know I didn't make him happy because I said, "Look, I've been doing this long enough in so many different formats, depending whether it's an all conference or it's a mass choir with everybody doing their individual stuff, or it's choir and band, all, I said, I told our principal, I said, Monmouth Roseville doesn't care what the format is. Just tell us what it is.
Yeah.
Tell us when it is, and we will be there.
Right.
Because some people care about this stuff a lot. I think it's important. I think it's really good for our kids to do.
Yes.
But it's not something I am going to lose another second of sleep over about the format of the Prairie Land Conference Junior High Band or Choir Festival. Because, okay, we can only take 10 kids. I'll pick the top 10 kids that aren't going in band, and that's who I'll take.
Right.
You're taking the whole choir? I'll take the whole choir.
Yeah.
I even looked at him and I said, and if you're the guy that says, "Hey, how about we not do this anymore?" We won't do it anymore.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Right.
Just tell us what we're doing. And because especially I feel like we do a good job of offering our kids a ton of different things to be able to do.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, if we took something off their plate, I don't think they'd mind, and I'm sure they wouldn't.
No.
The administration would be okay with not finding subs for us again.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely around this time, I feel like, well, it's funny because I was, I don't know who I was talking to. It might have been you, but
He pointed to
Lisa, and I definitely remember. It seems like my director was gone a lot after like marching band for different things, and like he was on like a whole bunch. Like it wasn't just like he was going to conferences. He was definitely like a part of like I know like committees and stuff for like of the state. But I definitely remember like I felt like he was gone a lot. And I definitely feel that too, especially these last like 3 weeks. We've had I just feel like I've been gone. Like, and I'm thankful that like I thought ahead enough and got the kids where they needed to be. So whenever we perform next, you know, like I'm not stressing out about it. Like I'm totally ready for these kids.
Well, and according to Miss Allen, you and I went and played golf all day.
I think so.
Okay, so
I'm just saying one person in this department worked yesterday.
I will say this on the podcast. I was fearful for not being there on Saturday, so I just took the precaution, took the rest, took the medication to make sure I would not leave Miss Hallen in the dust. However, I might just be getting sick now, right now. I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
I'm feeling it right now.
Thank you for taking a sick day yesterday, Mr. Martinez. Thank you for doing that for me.
Because, you know, could have been worse.
It's all about
I'm not complaining. I get extra
I could have not been
duty.
here today. And then not say or text her anything, and then maybe show up Saturday, maybe not show up Saturday.
Yeah.
She wouldn't have known. It should be a guessing game all the way up until 7:30.
I know where you live.
Yeah, Macomb. Everyone knows that. Anyway.
Yeah.
But no, I'm all about these opportunities for kids. And for you, wherever you are, like when you get into a job, they will say, hey, you do these events, you do this, you do that, you take the kids to this, and you look at the calendar and you just make sure that you get to where they need to go. And that's just how it is. But if you start to find out that your kids are not in the classroom though, and they're not getting also the attention they need for whatever they need to be prepared for these things, it's probably worth saying, hey, like, these events are good because X, Y, and Z. This event is not as good because X, Y, and Z.
Yep.
And be an advocate for your program. Like, it's good for the kids to experience things, but if they're never in class learning the skills to rehearse, learning the skills to like that you need to teach them in the classroom, there's no point in them going elsewhere, learning from another director or learning from another opportunity, because then if they're not learning it in class. You know, so it's just something good that like it could be a really, really good thing, but it also could be a bad thing if the kids are gone all the time.
Yeah.
You know, like choir kids. The choir kids are never in class. They're just gone all the time.
I don't know. I mean,
You do. They're your kids.
This year's been a little bit crazy. We're very fortunate that we get asked to do a lot of things, but this year it seems to be just piling up. I mean, you definitely. I love talking to administrators. Like, man, your kids are gone all the time. They're singing at this. They're doing this. They're doing this. And then when I look at them and I say, which one of these people, which one of these organizations, do you want me to say no to? What nursing home, what church, what TV station do I call and say, yeah, we're not going to make that because my administration won't let us out? And as soon as you say that, we worked out so we take the Madrigal Singers on a tour of our grade schools, right? Just kind of like you guys do for band Halloween, right?
Yep.
And so all morning long, we're at the 3 grade schools. We drive down to Roseville. We have lunch down at Twisted 2, which is a fantastic place. Shout out Twisted 2. And then we go to junior high and sing. Then we load on the bus and we go over to Abingdon, where my wife is a teacher, and we've sang at her grade school for years. Yes, her grade school. Lisa's podcast, my wife's grade school.
Comparable.
Yeah, same. But I got an email from the activity director at the Kensington, which is a retired living facility in Galesburg, like, can your kids, I'm like, I can't take them out one more day. I can't take them out another day. I can't take them out another day. So I'm like, hey, Mr. Ewing, can we extend the day? I talked to the basketball coaches. I talked to whoever else. I'm like, hey, we're going to be a tad late. And everybody was totally fine with it. So we're going to extend that day a little bit. And no, we've got a little bit going on. So I'm really excited. Who was it? One of the nursing homes here in town. Like, can you come? I'm like, I don't know when we're going to do that because we're like, not only taking the kids out of band and choir to do all of these things,
right.
We're taking them out of their classes, and it's a lot.
But here's the thing: name another school that is doing this, like at this level. Colleges tour because they're recruiting. You're doing it because the word of mouth of how good MR is. Musically, like that's why you're being asked to do these things, and that's I think that's why also it seems to be piling up. Like the Monmouth College had their honor band last year, but it was definitely hard for us to do it because it was like, one, they had never done it before.
Right.
Two, the date that they chose was like still in the middle of marching season or whatever it was, or like the very, very end of it. So like our kids aren't prepared. But this year I knew that I wanted to send kids, especially the kids who go to TRAC who are really good at singing and really good at band. So then one gets to go into the band portion, and one goes to the. It's, we want to make it fair, but we also want to make sure that our kids are getting the experiences as equally as possible. At least personally, that's how I feel. And also like our talents are worth sharing with other groups and other people.
Well, I don't know that I even told you guys this. Curtis Fisher Oschlager.
Shout out.
El Presidente.
El Presidente. He is the director of the Quad City Community Chorus Choir, whatever.
Oh, okay.
And we're at TRAC, and he said, hey, will your kids be ready to sing a couple jazz pieces on March 8th? So on Friday, March 8th, Madrigal singers are going up to sing a couple of our jazz pieces and then sing a couple pieces with them. So I'm pretty stoked about that. That's something new that we haven't done before. And, I know we like next week the junior Madrigal singers and high school Madrigal singers, mixed mads, are going to be on TV. They're doing the Choirs of Christmas thing at KWQC, whatever Channel 6 is.
Sure.
Whatever Channel 6 is.
Shout out.
Shout out Channel 6. So that's a good experience, and I mean, and that's a lot of local schools. I know, like the Peoria Channel 19.
Shout out
Channel 19. When I was at Avon, we'd go over there and do for the Peoria TV station. So I'm sure, local TV stations have these things, and they're just dying to get kids recognition and get kids on TV, and who's going to say no to putting your kids on TV, right?
Right.
So. We've got a busy week next week, and then we got the good old Madrigal dinner.
That'll be a whole episode. We definitely should do like a before Madrigal dinner episode and then post Madrigal dinner episode because Madrigals is going to be nuts this year.
It's going to be awesome.
I'm so excited.
I'm really excited. Like with the alumni coming back, and then the addition of the brass. The brass. Who's not playing? I forgot. Somebody's not playing for that. Who was that? Is that Lisa?
Yeah.
And didn't you like write French horn solos?
I did
across the board.
I did.
Like we were going to do this.
First part. She's going to lead us, but she needs to go sing that day. She says.
Yeah.
Which is okay.
I
She's
need
take Crispy with him.
Play in. Actually, this one is the Monmouth Civic Orchestra.
Oh.
Shout out. Concerts.
She shouted
one of those days.
Yeah, it's to the college, right?
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the Kangaroo.
Well, the Civic Orchestras combined, and now it's like Monmouth College, Monmouth Civic Orchestra. But yes, Dr. Kangaroo conducts, and
Richard.
Yes.
Shout out.
Shout out, Dr. Kangaroo.
Go next.
Let's go next.
Go next all the time.
Yeah. So I mean, it's exciting that we have all this stuff that we do, and sometimes it's like I said, we have 8 churches in 4 weeks that we perform for. I actually had 9. I made a mistake and triple booked a Sunday, and it didn't work, and so I promised that church we'd go sometime in Easter and sing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I felt really, really bad, but yeah, when we turn the calendar after fall concert, I tell the Madrigal singers to get ready because your life's no longer your own. And
But this is the kind of stuff though that they will remember too. Like that's another thing. It's like it's not just going places. It's like remember that time we had to do 18 million churches that year? Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember we had to sing this with that. I mean, like that's also the stuff that we're providing them too. Like it is painful somewhat during it, but like when they come out of it, they're like, oh my gosh, I want to go back to do that again.
so, I'm sorry, Miss Allen has her
Time
hand up.
out. Hold that thought. Are you watching the time?
No.
It is 3:33.
Okay, it'll be all right.
Okay.
yeah,
You
what
have a football game to win tomorrow.
We do.
Okay,
We do.
just making sure. Time in.
Time
Go
in.
ahead.
Was that a Saved by the Bell timeout?
Those-
Because we all didn't freeze. We should have.
Oh, we should have been in
By the way,
place.
Saved by the Bell, one of the greatest shows ever made.
Shout out, Saved by the Bell.
Yeah. Mr. Belding.
Yeah.
So, talking like with our Madrigal dinner, we do luckily get a lot of alumni to come back, and it's really cool. Like I said before, when we do Silent Night and 8, 10, 12, 15 alumni get up and start singing Silent Night, but there's always stories that come up. It's like if you have a perfect Christmas, right? Nothing happens. You don't remember that Christmas, right? You know what I mean?
Right. It's
but
when you
the
burn
Christmas,
the turkey.
yeah, the Christmas that, and you made it through it. You know, it was the worst Christmas ever. Well, there's a couple stories, and they always get told. You know that. Oh, do you remember when? And of course, yes, I remember. We actually, so we have some candles that are lit.
Where could this be going?
Exactly where you think it is. Well, it had dripped, and there was like greenery and ribbons and bows and whatever on this candelabra, and all of a sudden, like there was no danger of any sort, whatever. It's a standalone candelabra that's not, and like you heard a couple people go, whoa, and one kid just got up, grabbed a pitcher of water off the table. One of the singers just grabbed a pitcher of water off the table while we're singing and just sets it down, walks back, and starts singing again. Like everybody talks about when Cody Peppers extinguished the fire.
That's amazing.
Shout out Cody Peppers. He's actually coming back to the dinner, so we'll get to hear that story about 10 times this year. Cassie Harders,
Shout out.
one of the best singers we've ever had here. Sunday's Madrigal dinner. We used to do a Friday, Saturday, Sunday show. Sunday's dinner, she called me in the morning. She's like, I'm not going to make it. She was our lead. Like, she had every other freaking line in this show. And I'm like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? And so we had worked it out that somebody else was just going to have a choir folder there with the script, right? And everybody would understand, and we'd get through it. About 20 minutes before the show, in walks Cassie and just ghost. I'm like, go home. She's like, I haven't thrown up in about 3 hours. I think I can make it through it. I'm like, you're not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm not missing this.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. And like, she killed it. And then Sunday night after the show is cleanup. And I'm like a huge, or strike if you're, you know, so inclined to say. And she was like, where do you have me? Like, I have all the kids broken down into the costumes, or, you know, getting the head table down, or getting the wallpaper down, or whatever, I'm like, you have nothing. She's like, no, I have. I said, go home. Go home. She's like, no, that's not fair to everybody else. Go home. And she finally went home. But those are and I'm sure there's 1,000 other stories that the kids have that I, you know, don't know about, the getting ready before events or whatever. But
Absolutely.
no, I think sometimes it's a detriment, and I think we all feel that sometimes. But I think it's worth it for them to have all of these different opportunities to basically to shine. I mean,
Right.
like Monday, as we're getting off the bus, I'm like, you know who you represent. And I know we give that speech all the time, right? You're representing your school and your parents and your community and blah, 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 blah. But like, for me, it's even more than that. You're representing our freaking music department, which we have a ton of pride in and a ton of success in. Everybody knows you, so you do the right things. Don't be the kids that are doing the freaking Macarena.
Oh Oh my goodness.
Yeah. During rehearsal, it was worse.
Yeah,
And then I see during the performance, I'm like, yikes.
During the rehearsal, it's all in good fun. The conductor's like, you need to move. And so they start doing the Macarena. And it's like, okay, they're getting into it. They're having fun. I think everyone assumed you didn't need to tell them that they can't do it during the performance.
Yeah, apparently you do.
Yeah.
Apparently you do. So, no, but here we go. Man, it's November.
Yeah.
It's November.
Fall is a mess, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Good job on your band concert.
Yeah. Excited for you. That's awesome. Sorry I couldn't make it.
Hey, I need to go to practice.
You need to practice.
So
Talk
we
about
can.
practice.
We're talking about practice. We ain't talking about the game.
Shout
Go
out to
win tomorrow.
Alvin
Shout
Iverson.
Iverson.
Hey,
He listens to us, right?
hey, AI, when you listen to this,
Talk about practice.
we talking about practice.
Oh, my gosh.
What did you say? Win tomorrow?
I was trying to say, shout out to our football team. Gonna go win a round 2 playoff game tomorrow.
Ayo.
Hopefully.
So I was on the IHSA contest managers meeting thing on Wednesday, and so was Brandon Crawford. They're hosting org, I guess. I thought Kiwani was in.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Yeah, sure. But he jumped on there, and I'm like, oh, okay. And so nobody's talking except Susie and Ben, and shout out. But anyway, like it was getting close, and I'm like, I just typed in, hey, I got to go to football practice so we can prepare to beat the Princeton Tigers on Saturday.
Hey.
I don't know if he replied to it or saw it at all, but like.
Here we go.
Yeah, I think if we play well, we'll be all right.
Let's get some revenge.
Yeah, I mean,
Titan revenge.
like I said, your consolation prize is, hey, you're in the quarterfinals. Now go play Lombard Montini Catholic.
That's a made-up school. It's not real.
It's absolutely real, and they're absolutely really good at football.
They have 2 names. They couldn't decide on.
So are we.
We have
Have
2
faith.
names, Monmouth, Roseville.
Nah, it's
So
all
what are you
one.
doing?
It's all one word.
We don't have the Catholic word.
Montini?
No, Catholic. Lombard Montini Catholic. Prep.
Anyway.
High school.
Always enjoy doing this.
Yeah, 2 podcasts in a week.
Yeah.
But we've missed a couple weeks, so
Yeah.
we're gonna have to figure some stuff out
owe it to
because
Lisa
next Friday we have the day off. Thank you. Salute to our vets.
Absolutely.
Congrats! I got my New England Patriots salute to service shirt in the mail today. It's awesome. Yeah. So yeah, thank you to all our service men and women out there. Who knows what's going to happen over the next few months, but man, thank God for you.
I'll say, yeah, for real.
For all.
And December will be here for you not. Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, until next time.
Goodbye.
Actually, we did forget to do the our normal outro because we're trying to get Kevin out of here. So let's remember you can always find us at.
And you need to go back. You need to go
I'm
back.
recording it right now. We're doing it right now.
Oh, are you? No,
Yeah.
I was gonna say you need to go back. You need to go back and when Lisa corrects you every time on whatever one you get wrong every time, whatever it's YouTube or IG or whatever, this one is only pod, not podcast, or this one is podcast, not pod.
I'll just save that clip and that'll be in every single episode going forward.
I gotta go.
This is my job.
Okay.
I need a ride.
Anyway, so, all right. Remember, you can always email us at musicinthemakingpod@gmail.com. Our IG is...
At Music in the Making Pod.
We are available on Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. For those people who use YouTube, you can search us, in quotes, Music in the Making Podcast. And I think that being said, now, girl, bye. Kevin has to go to football. Till next time. Girl, bye.